What if I told you that the most dangerous man on the WWE roster right now isn't a champion? What if I told you that the scariest thing walking through that curtain isn't chasing a title, he's chasing blood? Because, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wrestling fanatics from every corner of this planet, what Bronson Reed just did may have changed the entire landscape of WWE storytelling as we know it. We are talking about a 330-pound Australian wrecking machine, a man who doesn't just win matches, he ends people deciding to step into one of the most chaotic, most talked about mysteries in recent WWE programming. Logan Paul's mystery attacker. Pause for effect. And Bronson Reed didn't just follow the trail, he obliterated it. Welcome to Wrestling Stream, and trust me, you are going to want every single second of this one. Smash that like button right now before we even get into it, because this is the kind of content we live for. Let's go. Alright, let's rewind the tape a little bit, because if we're going to understand why Bronson Reed's involvement in this story hits so differently, we need to talk about what was already happening with Logan Paul. Now, love him or hate him, and we know this fan base is split right down the middle on Logan. You cannot deny the man has been appointment television. He's been operating at a level that very few crossover celebrities have ever reached in this business. He's not just a celebrity playing wrestler anymore. The guy has ring IQ. He's got presence. And he wears that United States Championship like he was born to be a villain. But something shifted. Over the past several weeks, Logan Paul started showing up to arenas a little different. A little more shaken. A little less confident. And for a man whose entire persona is built on unshakable bravado, that was the first clue something was wrong. Then came the attack. If you haven't seen the footage, and drop a comment down below if you caught it live, Logan Paul was ambushed. Blindsided. Laid out in a way that made even his harshest critics go silent for a moment. Because whoever did it didn't just want to send a message. They wanted to cripple him. The attack was calculated. Vicious. And the attacker? Hidden. Masked. No clear identity. WWE cameras caught just enough to fuel an entire wildfire of speculation online, and if you were anywhere near Twitter or Reddit that night, you already know the chaos that followed. Who did it? Was it a returning star? Was it someone already on the roster with a grudge? Was this a setup? Was Logan in on it? The questions were flying, and WWE, brilliant as they can be when they lean into a mystery, let it breathe. Let the speculation cook. Let us, the fans, go absolutely feral trying to figure it out. And that's where Bronson Reed entered the picture. Now here's where I need you to stay with me, because this is where the story gets layered. Bronson Reed is not a man who does things without reason. That's the beauty of how this character has been built. Every move, every target, every tsunami from the top rope, it's intentional. Bronson Reed doesn't stumble into feuds. He selects them. So when word started spreading that Reed had been quietly investigating, and I use that word loosely because imagine a 330-pound man quietly doing anything, people started piecing things together. Because Reed had history connected to this story. Whether it was a shared locker room tension, a backstage moment that never made it to television, or something deeper tied to the identity of the attacker, Reed had a reason to care. And that reason? That's the part that makes this whole thing electric. Think about where Bronson Reed has been in his WWE career. Think about the moments where he was right on the edge of a massive push and something, or someone, pulled the rug out. Think about the way this man carries himself with the quiet fury of someone who has been overlooked, underestimated, and dismissed, and has been storing every single slight in a mental filing cabinet, waiting for the right moment to cash it all in. Logan Paul's mystery attacker didn't just attack Logan Paul. They may have unknowingly put themselves directly in Bronson Reed's crosshairs. Hey, if you're feeling this breakdown right now, share this video with your wrestling friends. This is exactly the kind of deep dive content that deserves to be spread around. We put the work in so you don't miss a detail. Now let's keep rolling. So how exactly does a man like Bronson Reed follow someone in a world where kayfabe and reality blur every single week on WWE television? The answer is, on camera, methodically, and with a purpose that made even the commentary team pause mid-sentence. The moment Reed appeared in that arena looking for answers, the energy shifted. You could feel it through the screen. Because Bronson Reed moving with focus is 10 times more terrifying than Bronson Reed moving with rage. Rage is explosive. Focus is inevitable. He started appearing in segments adjacent to Logan Paul's storyline. Watching. Observing. A few backstage segments, the kind that WWE uses brilliantly to build atmosphere, showed Reed asking questions. Not frantically. Not desperately. With the cold, calm certainty of a man who already knows the answer and just wants everyone else to catch up. And the attacker? They noticed. Because there's a moment, and this is the detail I want you to lock in on, where the camera catches just a flicker. A hesitation. The attacker, still operating in the shadows of the storyline, suddenly aware that the biggest, most dangerous variable in the entire equation had just entered the game. That moment right there? That's professional wrestling storytelling at its finest. That's the kind of thing that separates good television from great television. What do you think the attacker was feeling in that moment? Drop it in the comments. I genuinely want to know what the wrestling stream community thinks. And then it happened. No long build-up promo. No lengthy face-to-face stare-down. No contract signing with a table that was definitely going to get flipped. Bronson Reed struck. The moment the attacker's identity became clear, or even close to clear, Reed moved with the efficiency of someone who had been waiting for exactly this moment. And what followed was the kind of physical destruction that reminds you why professional wrestling, at its peak, is genuine spectacle. We're talking about a man who goes 330 pounds launching himself off the top rope. We're talking about a tsunami, one of the most impactful finishing moves in WWE right now, landed with the kind of precision and fury that tells you this wasn't just a wrestling match. This was personal. The crowd? They lost it. Because even if you came into this as a neutral, even if you weren't fully invested in the Logan Paul mystery, even if you've been casually watching the moment Bronson Reed decides to bring the violence, you are no longer a casual viewer. You are locked in. And Logan Paul, watching from wherever he was positioned in this story, you have to imagine the wheels are spinning. Because Reed solving this mystery doesn't necessarily mean Reed is on Logan's side. Reed doing what Reed does doesn't mean he's anybody's ally. It might just mean the most dangerous man in this entire situation just announced himself as the newest, wildest variable in a story that already had no predictable ending. Okay, let's talk about what this actually means going forward, because this is where Wrestling Stream earns its keep. 3 realistic directions this story can go. Direction 1: Reed and Logan form a reluctant, uncomfortable, explosive alliance. Logan needs muscle. Reed needs opportunity. It's a deal made between two people who don't trust each other, and everyone watching knows it's going to blow up eventually. That slow burn betrayal story? If booked right, that's money. Direction 2: Reed reveals he had his own reasons for targeting the attacker that have nothing to do with Logan Paul. Maybe the attacker wronged Reed. Maybe Reed was actually working with someone else entirely. This version of the story makes Reed the unpredictable wildcard, which honestly might be his highest ceiling as a character right now. Direction 3, and this is the one that would genuinely make my jaw drop: the attacker and Bronson Reed were connected all along. What if this wasn't Reed following a trail? What if Reed laid the trail? What if this entire sequence was designed to get Reed inserted into Logan Paul's orbit for reasons we haven't seen yet? Listen, I'm not saying it's confirmed. I'm not spreading rumors. This is fantasy booking. This is the creative exercise that wrestling fans have always done, and it's one of the things that makes this the greatest storytelling sport in the world. But if you were booking this, where does it go? Comments section is open. I want your most creative, most chaotic, most ambitious booking ideas below. The best one gets pinned at the top. Let's hear it. And if you haven't subscribed to Wrestling Stream yet, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. We break down these stories with the detail they deserve every single time. Here's where I'm going to leave you, and yes, I'm doing this on purpose. Bronson Reed following and destroying Logan Paul's mystery attacker is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of something that could define the next several months of WWE programming if WWE lets it breathe, if they trust the talent, and if they lean into the unpredictability that made this moment so captivating in the first place. The question is no longer who attacked Logan Paul. The question is now, what does Bronson Reed want? And I have a feeling we are not going to like the answer. Or maybe we're going to absolutely love it. Stay locked into Wrestling Stream. Share this video right now, put it in your wrestling group chats, tag your friends who think they know everything about WWE storylines. Let's see if they saw this coming. The next chapter of this story is coming fast. And when it does, we'll be right here.